answer. Nothing is going to open that vault except an attack from the giants, and I really hope that doesn't happen in my lifetime. I'll go, though. Wait here, I'll be back soon. The dwarf girl grabs the branch sticking out of the dead tree trunk and pulls it in an intricate motion, which you take the time to memorize. In response, a hidden door pops open. She ducks inside and scurries down into her tunnel. Let's wait. Time passes. The door in the stump swings open, and out steps the dwarf girl, a little out of breath and dirtier for the trip. It's just as I thought. The elders agree that I should fulfill my obligation, but they cannot open the vault unless we're at war. Have you thought of anything else you want? Let's talk a little bit more. Let me introduce you to my companions. The small dwarf greets your companions. The prince bows graciously. The dwarf looks a little reserved, perhaps wondering if he's making fun of her height. She says a few words, and the prince appears a little taken aback by the dwarf's gruff and direct comments. But they speak a bit more, and soon both are laughing and enjoying each other's company. The dwarf girl soon turns to the princess, and after the initial pleasantries, the princess lapses into a coughing fit. That's a nasty cough you got there, princess, but I know a surefire remedy. It only requires 4 ingredients, and I've got one of them with me. Let's see, you'll need some dead man's friend, the meat from a zuzu nut, the roots of the pilth plant, and the dried herbs that I carry. Okay. Can I have those herbs? Sure, I've got them here somewhere. She paws through her dusty garments and emerges holding a handful of dried herbs. Smiling, she hands them over to you. Okay. She appears stricken. You think a simple cough remedy is worth my life? I owe you far more than that. You keep thinking about what you need. This is just for being friendly. Alright, I guess I have to do this. Okay, toadstool. Obviously it's the nut, and obviously we have the pink flower. And just feed them to her. Alright, where do you live? Why, right here. Well, under here, anyhow. We dwarves prefer to live underground. We have a network of tunnels that run for miles in all directions. Can we get back to the subject of the golden hammer again? Maybe it wasn't meant to be used as a weapon. Why would someone forge a hammer unless it was meant to be used? That doesn't make any sense. Could you try again to get it? She huffs in frustration. Nothing's going to change, but if it will make you happy, I'll go back in and rack my brains. I'll try everything, and I won't come back out until I've got it. Don't get your hopes up. Okay. The dwarf girl slips back into the hollow stump and closes the door behind her. Alright. Let's give her food, the toadstool, or the herbs, now the toadstool, the pink plant. The princess accepts the pink plant and gobbles it down. After she finishes her snack, she looks up in surprise. She breathes deeply, but her lungs are clear. Her cough has disappeared. Alright. Let's save. Now we should be able to go further into the forest. Greetings, my friend. Start playing the tune. The further you move into it, the darker the forest becomes. You see more titans scattered throughout the trees. The forest is lousy with titans. There are almost as many of the giants as there are trees. Titans have gathered around one tree here. High in its branches, you see something made of crystal. Clearly the focus of the titans' attention. The crystal fragment is out of reach, nestled high in the branches of the dead tree. Yes, my friend, what can I do for you? You go get that. The prince tiptoes around the unnaturally still giant, vaults up the tree and grabs the crystal fragment. He climbs part of the way down, looks around nervously at the titans, and drops heavily to the ground. He runs up and delivers the crystal to you, sweating and puffing. Alright, let's get out of here. I don't think there's anything else here? Exiting the forest, you notice a deep rumbling behind you. You realize that the Titans further in are probably out of range of the flute's melody. They've fallen out of thrall, noticed that their precious relic has been stolen, and started to rampage directly toward it. And, not coincidentally, you. Soon, the booming of giant footsteps totally drowns out the melody. The princess stops playing and yells, "They're coming, and they'll be here before you know it. The flute's no good anymore. When they find us with the relic, they'll tear us apart." The prince thinks for a moment and exclaims, "The relic, that's what they're really after. We've got to get rid of it." Well, let's pull the branch. Copying the movement of the young dwarf, you pull at the twisted branch sticking out of the stump. A door pops open. Inside, you see a narrow tunnel that leads straight down. Let's throw that down. You toss the crystal fragment into the hollow stump, and you hear it bump against the sides as it falls deep into the dwarven caves below. The Titans come crashing through the forest, no longer concerned about what they crush in their path. They totally ignore you and your companions and focus on the stump in the middle of the clearing. After a couple of attempts, they slowly begin to realize that even the smallest of their number is never going to be able to fit inside the dwarven tunnel. Although this fact may have stopped someone even slightly smarter, the Titans aren't even slowed. With bare hands, they begin to excavate their own tunnel. Dwarf curses and battle cries float up from the hole. Alright. You stand outside the huge stone edifice. A wall surrounds it. There are no obvious doors, only the alcove to the south. Alright, now how am I supposed to find... Let's wait. Okay. The young female dwarf appears from behind a bush. I was standing there in the tunnels, arguing with an elder about opening up the vault when the crystal gem dropped from above, right on the elder's head. Before I could even laugh, I heard the pounding of the giants trying to get inside the tunnel. The elder went crazy. He sounded the alarm and opened the vault right then and there. I grabbed both the crystal gem and the golden hammer and took a back tunnel here. I guessed that I could get rid of my obligation. I guess that I could get rid of my obligation to you and lead the giants back to their home. Here's the hammer you wanted. I'm glad to have been able to repay you. Now all we have to do is wait for the giants to come home. They will arrive, the doors will open, and everyone will be happy, I hope. As hard as she tries, she can't conceal her fear at the pounding footsteps that get closer with every passing moment. You direct the three youngsters to put their respective symbols into the recesses on the Citadel door. None of them grasps your meaning entirely, but you assure them that all will be made clear shortly. When the last symbol is slid into place, the doors swing inward, revealing a gleaming city, an ancient city of the Sartan. The Titans arrive, legs pumping, but when they come upon the gaping doors to the Citadel, they lose all interest in the crystal fragment. Instead, they file into the city and take positions in front of massive machines, as if they knew what they were doing. It seems that they do. A few minutes of tinkering and button pressing pass before the city comes to life. Lights flare and the entire Citadel begins to hum pleasantly. The Minch wander in, their eyes wide with wonder. Thinking about your quest, you regain the crystal fragment from the distracted dwarf. There's room enough for all the races here, says the prince, and the sentiment is echoed by his two companions. If we could live together, we could do it better than ever. The Minch go on, but something else has attracted your attention. An archway only a few dozen feet inside the Citadel is decorated by the fire seal piece. A flare just inside the Citadel's gate catches your eye. You see Zifnab coughing and ineffectually brushing soot from his robes. He looks up, sees you as well, and smiles. "Haplo, my boy, I knew you could do it." They put their symbols into the face of a mysterious building without even knowing why. Quite an achievement, if you ask me. That shows leadership qualities. You've inspired loyalty in these children. They trust you. He turns to look at the three Minch running through the Citadel, exclaiming their delight at each new discovery. He puffs up his chest and wipes away a tear. Does your heart good to see them together, doesn't it? Too bad it's only for a little while, He whispers in your ear. It's a good thing they don't know that you're just scouting for your lord. That soon he will destroy these children's lives for his dreams of conquest. That would just ruin their day. Better keep them between you and me, if you know what I mean. You're so dumbfounded by the Sartan's speech that you stare at him without saying a word. Zifnab continues. Don't worry, Haplo. I won't interfere in your mission. In fact, I have a present for you. I tried to take it up a collection around the office, but no one there seems to like you very much. I wasn't going to say anything, but they all think you're on the side of evil. That doesn't make you very popular. Most of the ideas of a going-away present took the form of a punch in the mouth. I stuck up for you, though. He's not a mindless puppet, I said. He has very good reasons for wanting to destroy everything. I'm sure he's thought this whole thing through. They seemed a little doubtful, but I know my old buddy Haplo. You'll come through in the end. Anyway, since no one chipped in, I got you this. He hands you an ordinary rock. It's a genuine, 100% natural, roughly spherical, all-purpose evil combating device. Really. I know what you're thinking, Zifnab. How can this be? This obviously rare and well-crafted document holder also combat evil? Well, fear not. This particular paperweight is magic. That's right. Zifnab's face goes sober. As the stone approaches true evil, it will glow. Soon you will encounter an evil greater than any you have ever known, even in the labyrinth, and it has magic, horrible, powerful, destructive. Much different than the magic that we command. The rock will react to this magic. The closer you get, the brighter it will glow. When you are in its very presence, crush the rock. You'll know the right time. What happens when I do? Zifnab thinks very hard and then says, I don't know, but I'm sure that it will be impressive. And just in case it doesn't work, use the backup plan. Hurl that sucker. I find that a nice solid pock upside the head always slows evil down. Now you're thinking, how can he afford to give this away? Well, that's very astute of you, Haplo. I can't afford it. Of course, I'm taking a loss on this transaction. But when your friends start asking you, where'd you get that great evil combater, you tell them you got it from old Zifnab. And soon they're telling their friends, and they're telling their friends. Eventually, everyone has a Zifnab special. God damn, he talks a lot. Zifnab turns to look at the sprawling crystal city. Take Pryan's seal piece, Haplo. Go back to your lord. But remember what you've seen here. Remember these people. Consider carefully exactly what you are doing and why. He turns and exits the Citadel. By the time you reach the doorway to follow, he has disappeared. Alright, let's take the fire seal. And let's leave. We take the dragon ship back through the death gate and return to the Nexus.